Hey everyone, welcome back to the Black Woman Be Whole podcast. We're your hosts, Kim, Ednesha, and Marquia, and we are Black women working on being whole. I can't believe we're in episode number 5. Episode number 4 was a doozy, ladies, and so I think this one is going to be pretty good too. So today we are talking about labels and identities. Name yourself. We'll get into that in a little bit. I just want to know, Ednesha, Marquia, what are you all working on now this week?
This week, I am working on being patient with myself. I think that I'm kind of tired right now. I think I'm a little burnt out. I'm a little tired, and just kind of being patient with just not feeling myself and being okay with that, and knowing that whatever myself is will come back soon or later, and maybe it's just okay that I'm a little off right now. So just being patient and compassionate. What about you,
Uh,
Markia?
I'm definitely gonna say probably trying to give myself grace. So a continuation of the last time, right? Last time it was balance. This time it's, being okay with if things are not perfect. I am a person, so I think I said before, I have anxiety. Also with that is a little dash of perfectionism, maybe a heavy dose of perfectionism. So understanding that it's okay if it's not as perfect as I think it is, because one, most people are gonna think it's great anyway. I'm really gonna be the only one that knows what's wrong with it. And just being okay with not being quote unquote perfect is hard.
It is hard. I think I am working on moisturizing and minding my business, y'all. I
Okay.
realize that I'm a nosy person and I
Ooh.
always want to know what's going on. And I think for me, like, this doesn't matter. Like, why are you always like, Marquis, I'm always lurking on things. I'm always screenshotting and sending things to y'all. Like, I know y'all get tired of me just blasting y'all with a bunch of stuff because I am always just looking like, oh, that's what's going on. I send people screenshots about everything. Like, look at your cousin. So all the time. And so I think I need to mind my business and focus on myself because then I need to look at my house, right? And stop worrying about other people. And I think sometimes I get caught up in other people's lives in a way that may be unhealthy for me. So
Self-awareness.
yeah, nosy is a label that I've had to apply to myself. And I need to work on that because we're talking about labels and identity. And I love this because I don't know if you all have gotten into the Lovecraft Country craze like I did, but that was my jam. So I was in the chat rooms, I was sending stuff to people, I was reading a curriculum, and my favorite episode was episode 7 about Hippolyta, and it's called Name Yourself. And it's really about a Black woman's journey with all those labels and identities and how they were given to her and how they made her feel small, how they made her feel less than. And it was really about a Black woman's liberation and finding her way back to herself. So I think this is a great conversation that we're going to have today. So, Ednesha, what are the labels that were given to you and or you gave to yourself?
That's a hard one, right? Because I think when I think about labels, for me in my life, I have to say they were generally positive, right? Like generally, they helped me to set like useful expectations for myself and kind of fit me with like some meaningful goals, maybe. Um, so for me, I think the first one is smart. My mom gave that one very early, out the gate, and there was an expectation that I put on myself at that point to be smart. So it was good because I always wanted to have like the best grades. I worked super hard in school, so that was really good. I think that pretty has been one. Um, when I was a little girl, they dressed you up really pretty. They put the cute clothes on you. They do your hair, and that one has sat with me. But we'll talk later, Anthony. But we just gonna talk about what they are right now. I
Yes.
think emotional is something that was imposed upon me from my siblings. They always called me emotional, and it was looked at as a very negative thing. And I think that the two labels that I'm brewing with now is therapist. And what does that mean to me, right? And I guess what does that mean to others, and how should I be showing up in the world, because that's the label that's been given to me and I've given to myself. And wife, which is I've been married for 4 years, but still trying to figure out what that looks like, and how that impacts me on a day-to-day basis of as far as what I think my responsibilities are, what the expectations are of me, and so the pressure that it brings. So yeah, those are the ones that were given, either I gave to myself or were given to me. What about you, Kim?
Um, I know. Why did we pick this topic? Because this is so deep and
It's
like
about to get heavy again.
uncomfortable. I I think caretaker was one that still resonates with me to this day. Let's see, strong. I definitely have a strong personality. And I think that it shows up in lots of ways. Capable, like being able to take care of myself and having that ability to, you know, and be independent, that kind of thing. Um, I think also the one that I was like sort of grappling with, as you said, single, you know, being that single black woman and how that and why I feel that way. I think is going to be something that'll be I'll be happy to explore with the both of you. And yeah, I mean, I don't have any like physical kind of ones because I don't necessarily think of like my body or anything, but I think resourceful. Like I can figure stuff out and I can, okay, well, what's this? Let's go do it. Like let me go figure it out now. So I think those were for me. And, as we talk more, I'm sure more labels will be pulled out of that. But for me, those feel very relevant right now. What about you, Marquia?
So it's funny that you mentioned like not having anything associated with your body. I am not a naturally small person, so I've definitely been called fat. So that is like one thing that just kind of popped to top of mind. But also in that, right, like being called fat or essentially not aesthetically pleasing, I definitely hold very closely onto smart. That is a label that is probably the one thing that I always hold on to because you can call me ugly bitch, but you're not smarter than me. Like that's what you're not gonna
Right?
be.
That's some real black girl shit.
Like that's
Okay.
okay. So what? All right, you call me fat, but can you figure this out? I didn't think so. So I'm very, attached to the smart label. I've been called funny, resourceful. Um, those are really like the ones that come to the top of mind at the moment, I would say.
Some more will fall right on out as we keep
I'm
talking.
sure. I'm sure they'll jump out. I'm sure those of you listening at home will be able to probably pick up pinpoint labels. And don't get it twisted. I'm cute in real life. Don't I'm very cute.
Ew,
So
let them know.
ain't no insecure. Oh, confident. I will say that. Like there's also this like weird juxtaposition, right? With people that think you're fat, but then when you're like, but I'm still cute, and then like, oh, but you're just like so confident though. And it's like, what are you really trying to
As if you
say?
weren't
Like,
supposed to be, right?
right. Like just because you think I should be wearing a sheet and I don't deserve to wear a sexy dress doesn't mean that
Come
that's gonna
through,
happen.
Thoughtylicious. I already
'Cause
told you,
they'll tell
Thoughtylicious.
you, okay, I got my Ivy Park. Come spring,
Because
come see me in
Marquia
my
had her
bodysuit.
shorty shorts on in the summer. Okay, she was out in them streets
You was throwing
sending
that thing.
photos.
Throw that thing, girl. That's right. And so I mean, and what are ones that you gave to yourself? Are they different from ones that were given to you?
um, I don't know if I've ever given myself a label. I guess I would just say that I rode with the smart one because I knew that I was smart
All right.
AF. And I mean, like, I'm cute. I guess, like, it's depending on the day. Like, I'm human. So, some days I'm like, oh, I'm cute today. When I got these locks, though, let me tell you what. I definitely was like living in that cute area. I was like, y'all can't tell me. I'm telling you, summer 2021, come at me because you can't tell me nothing.
That's right. Throw
It's about
it.
to be out here. Locks about to be mid back. Ivy Park bodysuits. It's lit. Like, that's just what it's gonna be.
Enjoy yourself. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anisha, do you have any that you've given yourself that you can think about? I mean, other than therapist, because you chose that.
I think for me, I've given myself resourceful. I like that one because I will make a way out of no way. I don't take no for an answer. Like if you tell me no, I'm asking you, but wait, we can figure this out. Right. Like, and I can find resources. I can I think that being a student too is something about like all of these years of schooling. Like if you ask me for something, I'll figure it out. Like I could Google, I could research. Like I'm a good researcher, but I'm also very resourceful for myself and for other people. And primarily I'm a social worker, right? I am a therapist, but I'm a social worker first. And so we are resourceful people. We know how to find resources for people, right? And so yeah.
Ednesha has the gift of gab. When we got to get somewhere, we're like, Woody, go and talk to them. I remember that time we were in Miami trying to like, let's go to this club. And the guy was like, oh, you're not on the list. It was like, Woody, come over here and talk to him because we need to get in here. Like, she's the person that the group will like go and do this so that we can go into this, get this, or whatever. Like, you have the gift of gab. Like, you can talk to anyone and you're persuasive. I would like to throw that on there too. I think you are
So
very
Kim,
persuasive.
do you remember at the time I got us plus 15 into the club in Atlanta?
Not 15.
Wait, and we had dudes and everything with
And there was
us.
some ugly people in there too. And it was
Ooh.
like, that's why they didn't want to let us in.
But I talked to the dude at the door. It was a real serious situation, Marquia. I am very persuasive. I use everything in the arsenal and I got us all in. I was like, I'm gonna need y'all to wait at the corner. We all can't go to the door. That is not gonna look good. Let me go. I think it was me and Chanel. Let me go first, talk it through, and then everybody gonna come from there. So I will say I am very persuasive. I think that my husband hates the fact that I'm persuasive because I'm always trying to persuade him into something, and he'd be like, "No." I said no. I'm like, but if you
The
look at it
question
from
is,
this
will
way,
you talk about that on this damn podcast? What you trying to persuade people to do? Maybe not, because that's personal.
No,
so
I guess to that point, with you being persuasive, one of my friends would say that too. He's like, everywhere we go, you get us something free. But I don't even do anything. I just sit there. I don't necessarily say anything. I just kind of smile because I told you I was cute in real life. And then shit just be appearing. So I guess I'm good at, I don't know, attracting what I want, I guess. Is that a label?
Ooh.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
We'll
a
But
figure
closed
out
mouth
what it
don't get
is.
fed. A closed mouth don't get fed on the boulevard, baby. So
listen.
you gotta speak up.
That's real black girl shit right there. That's been passed down for real. I think one that I've given myself because I find myself being in this state frequently is angry. There's just so much that I just really just the world, the way people are treated, just all sorts of things that I think like I just really make me angry because why can't we just be free, happy, or just be ourselves? Because I know how I feel, but I know externally how people try to make me feel. And so I think for me, angry has shown up a lot more in my life than I would like it to. And I've been trying to channel that into something, but sometimes it just sits there and it gives me lots of stress, of mental distress. So trying to figure out what that looks like and what can I turn that into that's not so blocking or negative for me.
Mm.
So
I
I
hate that.
guess that means what how are we impacted by those labels, right? Just what did it I mean, Anisha, the labels that you mentioned, how has that impacted you in your life and how you interact with others or communicate?
I think for me, all my life, I had to be pretty and smart. Like that was at the forefront of everything. Which is why, as you guys know, generally, if I'm going somewhere, I am made up. Like the makeup is popping, the lipstick is on, like I'm ready, the pumps is on, whatever. Like I'm ready to go. And the smart piece means that for whatever reason, I have to always be prepared, right? Because I need to come off and present myself to the world as if I know what I'm talking about. So I think that if we're just gonna be real, like doing a podcast is a bit hard, right? Because what if in the moment I don't know what to say? And then I don't sound smart to people who are listening. Um, it can feel like life shattering. Like it's like I'm so wedded to that label. What is it like when I don't show up as that person? It can be super difficult. Cause like I know I'm a great therapist. Like so one-on-one in therapy, like I'm really good. But now you're asking me to come off the cuff, right? While you're recording me for everyone in the world to listen. It can feel scary It can feel scary for the days when I can't show up as those labels. So I think that's really how it impacts me the most. And then I think about what it means to me to be a Black woman who is pretty and smart, right? Because I think that people judge me based on what they see, right? They don't always get like when you're for me when as a Black person, I don't feel like people always get a chance to get to know us, right? They judge us very quickly on just kind of what they see or what they quickly hear. So sometimes it feels like you always have to be on. So I'm like an actor on a stage, like I got to be on. And what is it like the days that I'm not on? It can be super difficult for me. And so I think that that's how it impacts me. And it's frustrating because I really don't want it to hold me in the way that it does and control me in the way that it does. So I think for me, I'm trying to figure out how do I gain back control of that, right? And so is it time to let those labels go? But they're such a big part of my identity. Um, and it kind of defines you after a while, right? It becomes who you are. So how do you let it go? How do you sit it down? Because it can be limiting. And so for me, if I can get rid of it, it can be a way to kind of feel free again.
Well, how have you has there been anything that you thought about or done to address it? Or where do you think it comes from? Because I think, externally, aesthetically, we're not Black women are not always like the du jour, in comparison to other women. And I think for me, like in talking about like looks, like I don't focus on it because I don't necessarily think that like it's something that mattered to me or that was promoted to me in my family. It was like your personality and this and all these other things. Like no one in my family dresses up, so I don't dress up. Like everybody dresses up for church and weddings. That's pretty much it. But you'll find people in jeans. You're like, what you doing in these jeans or these, terrible like Crocs? Like, my mother has the worst fashion sense ever, and she has definitely fucking transferred that to me. Like, I wear black all the time because I don't have time to think about it. Like that distresses me to find an outfit, and I don't know how you do it because it is like, okay, everything is black, and you know that, and she always like, bitch, where's the color? I don't have it in me to really think this through.
And then when she do bring it out, Marquia, she is all over everywhere. I'm like, okay, wait, let's reel it in. Where are you going with this outfit?
Not a
Where you going?
Basquiat.
I can't do
I'm
it.
like, what's up with the dark lipstick, Kim? Like you, like no, can we brighten this up a little bit? It's your old lady lipstick color.
Because I was dressed by an old lady. My mother has old lady sensibilities. Like she would have this hairstyle, like she would flip it out on the side, and she still does it to this day. Like that style has gone away, lady. You are not actually helping me because I'm looking at you do this, and it's terrible. So no, but I mean, I just find that interesting because where do you think that came from, or how do you work on it?
I mean, it came from my family.
Right.
Like, let's be clear. Um, my sister was always a fashionista, my older sister, and she used to dress me. Like I remember being in junior high school wearing like suede boots that came up like past the knee with like a shirt off my shoulder in the 8th grade, like to match my purple suede boots. Like I was that kid. I mean, I think it also came from when you have older siblings, you try to emulate them, right? And so I remember trying to emulate her in so many ways. And so actually also when I was younger, I always thought that long skirts was sexy because my mom had bad knees, which she gave to me, which my grandmother gave to both of us. And I would always cover my knees. And so I thought that long skirts were like cute. You couldn't tell me nothing. Give me a long skirt. I'll rock that any day. I don't need a mini skirt. I had to make myself believe it, right? Because I had bad knees. So, and then that's what my mom wore. And so I thought it was sexy. So I think I looked at them a lot and I realized that also I think pretty people are treated differently in our society. Let me be clear. And I think I seen that with my sister. Like, cause she was a beautiful girl. Like when I would go places with her, we would get free stuff. Like life just felt different. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe if I'm similar to her and I look like, I do all the things, then maybe life will look the same for me. And it did. And so it's such a weird thing because I don't even know what is going to be like as I age.
Mm.
right? And what that's going to feel like. And so I'm like trying to hold on to all of it, right? Like we
Like
need to
when
work
them
out,
titties get
we need to
saggy,
eat
what's gonna
well.
happen?
Like I am not trying to look 40 until I'm 60. So like it's become a thing, and it's not something that you're obsessed with, but it is something that you take into consideration, and it has become my identity. Like being put together, I think it's not just about being pretty, it's about being put together. Like to the package. Like to make sure the package is well wrapped all the time
Mm.
has become too important because I probably wear makeup to the grocery store. Like Marquia will go out, me and Kim and our other girlfriend, and they'll be like, "Why you got makeup on? Nobody else got makeup on, right?" I'm like, I just wear makeup now, y'all. Like we'll go somewhere, like, why do you got a dress on? Because this is how I dress. I don't even know how to do anything else. It's such a big part of me in that way. And
Mm.
so I don't know if I want to get rid of it. I actually like I really like being put together. I've gotten better of feeling okay when I'm off. Like when I'm off, I'm okay now in a way that I don't think I was before. I've worked through that. Like I know that it doesn't make me any less than if I'm just having a off day. I'm okay with it in a way I think years ago I wouldn't have been.
Well, I think if it doesn't impact like your ability to live, love, laugh, learn, or if it doesn't stop you. I mean, I know people who don't leave the house because they couldn't find an outfit to wear and they just cancel. They don't go out. You're just like, well, you got a closet full of stuff and you chose not to wear something, or you couldn't find something to wear, and so you chose to cancel a plan. I think that that's what the issue comes in when people are allowing it to control their lives in a way that's not healthy.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it moving. Like I'm always gonna get ready. I'm gonna figure it out. But it's only because I'm a plan. That's why. Like if you want me to go somewhere on Saturday, I'm gonna think through that outfit on Friday, right? So then I don't have to have like the major meltdown. But when I first cut my hair, you remember I was having major meltdowns because
Yes.
it wasn't like I didn't know what to do with short hair. I didn't know what to do if I because I don't do my own hair. So I was having major meltdowns the first couple of days of the new cut. I'm okay now. I've learned how to just like wear it all back, slip back or whatever.
Meanwhile, I
Yeah.
be homesteading over here, cutting my own hair, shaving it. It grows back. It's been every color. It's been short. I had an afro. I was natural. Oh my God. Remember when I shaved my head in solidarity with my friend who had cancer and you came over to get my hair because you were very upset? She came
Marquia,
to
I
get my
couldn't believe
hair.
it. No, she shaved it like bald, like shaved it. Like no barber, like she was at the house with him and they both shaved their heads. And she sent me a picture and I was like, after work, I was like, I'm coming straight there. Like I'm on my way. And I still have a bag of her hair. And that was like over 10 years ago. I still have the bag of her hair in my house. I went
Why?
and got it. And because I couldn't believe she did it.
But why do you still have it?
I don't know if I was going to glue it back on her head. I'm not sure what I was going to do.
She came over to get the hair. She was like, I can't
But
believe you
that's
did this.
but I think that also shows, the different paths of the black women because some of us are so attached to our hair and some of us are not. Right? You just don't know who you going to get. Some of us is like we were taught like long hair is better. And so now all of our life we want long hair, right? Like it just depends, what was told to you, what was kind of pushed on you.
Marquia, what's your journey with your lovely labels?
My journey with my labels. I think that, when you are labeled things like fat, right? Like that's the main one. Cause like I think I came up in a time where like it's not as bad as now with aesthetics and like looking a certain way, but like I definitely was coming up as that was becoming more and more popular and how people should look a certain way. So it was really tough at points because I was like, well, I don't really look like that, or like I didn't really understand the mechanics of my body, right? So when people are calling you fat and it's like, oh, but now like people are like, oh my God, like people would kill to have like a shape like yours. And it's like, well, coming up, that was not the case, girl. So I had all of these like weird body image issues, whereas people are like, oh, you're being confident. Whereas it was kind of just like, all right, well, this is the body I have and this is what I got to do with it, girl. So, I mean, I only got so many choices and being sad every day wasn't going to be the option. Um, So I think that that was tough, and I still struggle with it. Like, you know, I'm healthy, like I'm fully capable of moving. But it's still something that bothers me. Like the other day I had posted a little Instagram video doing this choreography. One of my friends and I, we do this hip hop fit workout on YouTube. And she always tags me in the video and is like, you never post one, you never post one. So I posted it temporarily and immediately was like, oh my God, why did I do that? Like, I look crazy. Like, definitely was like, I look like a cow, like all these things. And my friends are like, why are you being mean to yourself? You look great. Or I actually hate when people tell you, like, when you're like, oh, I'm fat. And they're like, oh, but you're so pretty. Girl, I did not say I was ugly. Like that. Those
You
are not the
like, this is
same.
a backhanded compliment and I don't like it.
Right. I didn't say my face was ugly. I said my body is fat. Those are two different things. Like, what do you, so you're trying to agree, but make me feel better about you agreeing. I don't know. But you know, still working through that stuff. So, I mean, I think that that's just going to be a lifelong thing. It's funny about the hair stuff, right? So I did go natural back in 2009. My college graduation, I decided to cut my hair off and my mother was mortified. My sister told me I looked like a dirty Q-tip with
What?
my afro.
Goodness.
Yes,
Whoa.
this is a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
Literally told me to my face that I look like a dirty Q-tip. My mom was just like, but why did you have to do it for graduation? Like, why
Right.
did
That's what
you?
she was mad. She was thinking about pictures and like, why you had to do it now?
But my hair was breaking off, girl. I mean, at that point, it was just like, what am I gonna do? Like, have a funky haircut or just take the L? So that was an adjustment. Would I do it again? I don't know. Because I think that there is something to the whole like hair thing, right? And being attached to it. But I got used to my face. And you know, now here we are with, you know, my locks. I was natural for like 10 years. And someone told me when I went natural, they were like, I'll give you about 10 years and you're probably gonna lock it. And it's just because of maintenance, because who's doing that every day? Not me.
Right.
I'm still on that creamy crack over here. I ain't
So
ready to give it up yet.
but locks are life. Like, and also it's very interesting with that process. Like, you know, I've now had like new labels come up where like I'm really into like taking care of myself and like being, you know, healthier. And like it is like people say it's a thing that happens when you lock your hair and you don't think about it. But like I have like changed my eating habits and the way I take care of myself and using more natural products and stuff like that. So that's interesting. In regards to the smart thing, like I said, I hold on to that with my whole heart. I will fight you if you try to make me feel stupid. Like that's just what we're not going to do, because if like I have nothing else in this world, I know that I have that. So that's it's interesting. Like I sometimes sit back and look at myself and be like, oh girl, like you ain't have to go that hard on that person. But it's just you're not gonna make me feel stupid. And I worked in a job that was really, really unhealthy. And a big part of that experience was my supervisor, you know, essentially making it her mission every day, or so it felt, to make me feel like I was stupid and that I didn't know anything. And it really messed with me because as an adult, what do you mean? Like as a person that things have come easily to in a lot of ways and being able to figure things out pretty easily, how do you adapt when you constantly go into a situation that someone essentially is telling you that you're stupid every day? It's not cool. It's not a good feeling. And it really messes with you mentally. But at the same token, that's when I had to also learn about self-validation, right? You can't always seek things externally in order to make you feel good. You have to know what you know about yourself and, you know, be strong in that.
What are the things I think that you felt you've done for yourself to combat some of these labels? Because I mean, sometimes those labels are not good in the way that people use them for us.
With the work thing, I mean, ultimately I ended up quitting.
Right.
And the beauty of that though was that I did leave an imprint that was kind of undeniable, that people had to acknowledge. Like, as much as you try to make me seem like I was a dummy, I was smarter than most of you hoes here. So
Black girl shit. Oh, starting on these hoes. I love it.
Like I left and, you know, things that I had written were still being used. And it's like, if I was so terrible and if I was so stupid, then why would you even need to use it if it was trash? So thank you for proving to me that you were just being an asshole and that I actually was a smart person. In regard to the fat thing, like, what is it? I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm somebody's Henny straight. Isn't that what people say? So it's like, you know, you may not think I'm aesthetically pleasing, but your man might, I don't know.
Oh wait, hold
Like,
on. Can I just want to confirm that I've never heard, but I'm not any straight. Like, okay.
really?
I've heard where you going with it, but I ain't never heard any straight.
Mm.
Did
Are
I
you
just
serious?
age myself?
You
Because
might have.
shit,
I'm like,
I
that's
ain't never.
pretty regular in my
I thought it
demographic.
was cup of tea. Like,
Well, it's like I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm
I'm
somebody's honey
somebody's cup of
straight.
tea. I just thought it was cup of tea.
Everybody may not like tea. That's all.
That's it. You don't like no damn tea. Give the tea. That's it.
But yeah, like with people that take issue, like I've noticed, so like with the fat thing, right? Like, so when people label you as fat or plus size, a lot of that has to do with the fact that people have their feelings about it and how you should feel about yourself, right?
Right.
So because you think, perfect example, Lizzo, right? People think because Lizzo is a plus size person, she should not be twerking on the internet. She should not be wearing quote unquote
She
skimpy
better
clothes.
clap them cheeks. I don't care.
But because people feel what they feel in relation to what attractive is, people want you to internalize that and hate yourself. And I don't do that. Like, do I have bad days? Of course I do. There are some days I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I look terrible today. But then there are other days when I wake up and I'm like, you know what I'm about to do? Go outside back when it was open, and I'm gonna go to a bar and I'm gonna get a free drink. And what would happen? I would get all the free drinks because that's what was going to happen. And I'm
You
just
was putting them
comfortable.
on the glass, Marquia, for them drinks. Okay. That's right.
But I'm very like, I'm cool with myself, like looks aside. And I also need you to understand. So like within, I'm probably in the middle between Kim and Ednesha, right? So like Ednesha is like, I'll get dressed up. That's cool. Kim is like, I'm kind of just cool how I am. It depends on the day. So some days I'll go outside and be like, this is what you get in. Other days it'll be like, you know what? I felt like being real cute today. And this is what you're going to get. Either option that I choose, I get the same result. And it's because I'm comfortable with who I am. So regardless, like I'm still the same girl. It's still the same, Marquia. But if you meet the unmade up version, guess what? You're gonna get a surprise the next time. Or if you get the made up version, you're gonna have to figure out if you like the dumbed down version, and you just gonna have to regulate yourself. Also functioning in confidence. And even if it's not necessarily full on confidence, right? It's just like feeling comfortable in that moment and just kind of rolling with it. Fake it till you make it, I guess.
I mean, I can put myself together, but more often than not, even when I don't, I go out and people are attracted to me. Like, Anisha calls me a white man magnet because it is a thing and it's
I
very
mean,
weird. And it's like a thing. Like, wait, what is happening right now? I think for me, like, I don't necessarily so part of that, I think what happened was, Anisha knows in my 20s, I had my little sexual journey of like discovery, and I went through a lot of things and enjoyed myself a lot. And so, and part of that was like releasing the whole like my physicality is, the main thing, because sometimes it isn't. Sometimes people are attracted to your energy, your mind, their communication. I could throw on makeup and throw on some lipstick. I'm okay. But I don't necessarily lean on that because that's not who you're going to get in real life. Like, I can't present to you something with an expectation that you think I'm going to maintain this because I'm not. You're going to see me in some sweats or some jeans. And so I'm not going to lie to you, because then we got a problem. We've both misrepresented ourselves. Like, I'm not showing up like this all the time. I mean, I could put the boobies up because that's like one of my best assets, and my legs, but that's about all
Ew.
you're going to get, because I'm going to be in like a V-neck t-shirt, like, and some comfortable shoes the next time. So I think, like, for me, it is interesting how we come to that realization about like desire and attraction and confidence, right? Just, I'm very confident that I can go out and meet somebody and I'm not worried about it, because to this day that's been proven to be so. Um
When
and
that's
that's
the
that.
case.
And it's not bragging, it's just like that's what it is. Like, I'm not to say that I don't have to try hard, but I'm like you said, you're not everybody's cup of tea, but you somebody's henny. I'm definitely gonna be somebody's henny. Patron,
Come
it's
on. Come
tequila.
on, Pat Ron.
Hello, yoo-hoo. But I think like for my labels, like when fierce, I think for me, growing up in the projects in the Bronx, Twin Parks on Crotona Avenue, you had to be fierce. Like with my family, lots of kids, teenagers were raising the younger kids, the adults were working, so they weren't really there. So a lot of the things that I learned were from my cousins who were teenagers. And so you got a lot of guys, you got a lot of girls, they're teaching you things like, being fierce means protecting yourself. Like when I was young, I was a tomboy. I fought all the time because my cousin said, if you don't fight them, you're going to have to fight me. And I'm looking up at like this 15-year-old boy, like, okay, well, let me go fight this kid because that's how you were conditioned. And being fierce is sort of like, I think, being a little more aggressive than normal. So it's the environment, it's the conditions. And so I do use fierce because I can get very like rah rah very quickly. Like, like my energy can go like from 0 to 60 real quick, whether I'm like upset or happy. Cause it there's no like, it doesn't matter what kind of emotion I feel. I just feel it really like intensely. Like when we having a good time, Woody's like, okay, can you calm down? I'm like, no, let's go you know and if I'm
Yeah.
upset, it's like, okay, now I'm like seeing purple. So I think that that's when I say fierce, that's what I mean.
What label or identity would you like to step into now? Right? Because we talked about the labels and identities either that was given to us or we gave to ourselves. But like when looking at the future, I think that for me, I want to just deal with the label of being well, like just physically well and mentally well. Because I think that that is less pressure for me. And that just feels like something that should be most important to me as I continue in life, just being mentally and physically well. So those are the labels that I would like to embrace now. I mean, I'll still have some of the other ones, resourceful and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But for me, just being well is so important. That's what I want to work on. What about you, Marquia?
So a lot of the people in my life, like they're always like, "How are you doing?" And you all probably notice I never really say I'm good or like it's usually I'm okay. And that's just kind of
We get meh a lot from you.
yeah.
Okay. I was like, we're not touching that today because I don't know.
Yeah. So like I don't really deviate very much from meh or okay. Okay is good, I guess. Meh is I just don't want to really talk about it. I will definitely tell you if I'm bad. But I do want to get to a place where I can like consistently say happy. I think there's like a twofold reason to that. One is just like I've been through some really bad shit as of late recently. And like I've noticed like when I like I'm like, oh, I'm happy, and then shit goes really bad. So I don't want to jinx it. So I don't really say anything. Part two of that is just like, it's just there's a lot of things going on. I'm still figuring out like what my life path is after, leaving that past job, which I thought was definitely going to be like my end all be all. I had like my whole life planned around that. I was going to be working with students in this school for the rest of my life. I was going to have like, it was going to be all these things, and it wasn't that. So now looking at redefining what happiness looks like is tough because right now I'm just kind of like, I'm better than I was, but I don't know if that is good, right? Like it's better, but it doesn't necessarily equate to good or happy. And then it's ultimately like figuring out what that looks like and being okay in it. But I'm getting there. I mean, I stay more okay than meh for the most part. Work things cause me
That
stress.
ratio, as long as that ratio stays like that, we'll have to accept that because you're working on it, and that's important.
But yeah,
And
definitely working on being happy or like being able to like be like confident in my happiness and not feeling like something or someone is going to take that away. And just redefining it and figuring and redefining what those things are attached to.
the word that's coming into my mind is peaceful, peace. And I think for me, there's always just so much going on, like coming from a big family and dealing with stuff like that, but also just like your own kind of things. Like, I just want to be at peace with feeling like I'm okay with this place in my life, right? Like, that we talked about the imposter syndrome, but just like at the age that I am, wherever I am is good enough because it's my choice. And if I don't want it to be that, then I will choose something else. And so sometimes not feeling like you're behind because of the age range that you're in, like, oh, I should have this or have that. Like I have friends who have way more, things because they've done things or they've inherited things or they came up on things. And so, just I think being at peace with like my present state and not feeling like it's not enough because that definitely causes, distress I think I'm at, part of that, what I had to work on is, I became debt free most recently. And I'm at, and that was very stressful for me to not be and to constantly think about how am I going to take care of myself, especially being a single woman and, more than likely being that for, the foreseeable future or till my end of life. And, thinking about like, how am I going to take care of myself? Because I think that's a story that a lot of us don't really discuss, and so I want to be at peace with like my future or like or the decisions that I'm going to make to get to that place, and knowing that even if I did make a choice that didn't turn out well, it's okay because mistakes happen, but just being at peace with the things that I choose to do or the things that happen in some way, because I don't want to keep thinking about it. That can drive you mad thinking about something over and over on loops. So I'd like to be peaceful, which means I'm not going to be as angry.
She's not that angry, y'all. At least not toward us.
I'm not angry towards people. I'm angry towards things. I mean, I think I've gotten to that place where people, and people in particular who may have made me angry, don't make me angry anymore because I've worked through some stuff. But just at like conditions and things, and
Mm.
like, why is it this way? Like, why the hell can't we? And and some of that is respectability politics, which I definitely have to work on because you know that old Southern Baptist, conservative, you know, point of view sometimes pops up and it's like, oh, don't do that. But also just kind of like, hey, am I also internalizing white supremacy kind of like thinking, like, ooh, that's not cool. What you doing over there with that thought? So I don't know. I mean, are there any tools that we could talk about? I think that might be helpful, right? What are some tools that we can do to work towards better labeling or feeling better about our identities?
Um,
I don't know if it's particularly a tool, but I think that the first thought that came in my head was to be very careful about the ways in which you define yourself, right? If you define yourself by the job that you have or some ability or your interest, what happens when you lose that, right?
Mm,
Does losing that then change who you are? I had a client recently, of course, it's COVID, lost his job. And he was like, I feel like shit. I'm nothing. And I'm like, why? He was like, because I'm nothing without a job, right? Like, because that gave him purpose. And so be really clear about how we're defining ourselves and what's bringing us this purpose, because we can lose it at any point. And we want to make sure that once we lose it, it doesn't completely shatter us. So maybe, kind of defining yourself and things that have nothing to do with kind of those external things like a job or abilities. Cause I think about what if one day you are no longer able to walk, right? Like, then how do you view yourself? Because you can't do this thing that you always did. So, just kind of being clear about how you're defining yourself and not being afraid to continue to redefine yourself if you need to. If you lose one of these identities, how do I then redefine myself? So maybe not to be too wedded to any one identity because it can disappear really quickly.
I like that. Don't distill yourself into one or two things because if they go away, what do you have left?
Yeah, it can be scary.
um, as far as other tools, I would say definitely work on getting to a place where you are comfortable with self, right? Like being able to be okay when you are just by yourself and being able to see what things make you tick and what you do and do not like despite having people around you, because it's really easy to have your friends around you that are going to be like, yeah girl, let's just go drink or let's just do that, and you're never dealing with whatever it is that you need to process through. When I tell you, so when I left that job, I didn't work for almost a year. And it was almost a year of waking up every day and being like, okay, so here I am with me again, and I'm miserable. And there were some days when I would cry and be like, I don't know what my life is, and I don't know how to deal with this. And, what do I even want? And it was very upsetting. Again, as a person that's a perfectionist, as a person that deems himself smart, it's just like, okay, now I'm just flailing in the wind. What is now? But, a year later, a lot of things have changed. And a big part of that is me, knowing what is important to me, what is not important to me, what I'm willing to deal with and what I'm not. So once you get to that place with yourself and being like, okay, I'm cool with this or I'm not cool with that, it does make it a lot easier to navigate when people try to throw labels and shit on you, because you don't have to deal with it, because you can be like, that's not my problem. I'm not dealing with that. That's on you, not me. Skirt, skirt. So
Oh, real black girl shit. Don't be scared. Okay, so I'm gonna go left with this, and I don't care because it's how I
Ooh,
feel about stuff, you know.
okay.
And the verb is do or go. Go out, have sex with as many people as you want. Go out and draw, go out and paint, go out and play music, go out and discover things that you have been denied or that you have denied yourself because you didn't think you could do it. The only way you can know about something is if you do it. So go get all your orgasms, go and get your like beauty, like go and just do everything you want to do.
How did we
Because I
start with
do
the whole
believe,
shit? How did we start with the
huh?
whole shit? How did we start? Like the first thing you said was
I'm gonna go
go
left.
out and have all your sex. Go out and have all your orgasms. Listen, I do think it's important to prioritize pleasure. I will second that motion. But Kim came straight with the whole shit. Like, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I told you I
Go
was going
get
to
your
go
rocks
left.
off.
I gave you that because I think, sexual liberation. I mentioned it. I think it was very helpful. It undoes a lot of it undoes what the hell? I don't know. It un I don't even know the word, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. It undoes a lot of the things that you have been in that conditioning. So it's one of the things. I mean, I love with that because I think, black community, we don't talk enough about our liberation through sexuality or sexual freedom. Um but really just go out and do everything you want to do. Be it I was going to say be a trisexual, but then I was like that's not enough for me. And by that and but under that but nestled under that is art, nestled under that is music, nestled under that is all sorts of things like, try everything, not just in the sexual realm, but try everything, right?
Go out and be creative. All
Go
the
out and be
creative juices.
creative. That's it. Because how do you know what that label could mean to you unless you're actively doing it or you have immersed yourself in it, and so for me I think a lot of the things that I've come to realize about myself was because I went and did them.
I mean, you have to try in order to fail, right? So I second that. Go out and do. Go out and feel. Go out and be.
Feel all the
Yes.
things.
Feel all the feelings, all of them. I tell my clients, feel them all.
I told you I was going to go left and it don't I prepared y'all and then I gave it to you. That's all I could say, Go out and discover yourself, and that just ties it up in a nice little bow because that's what Hippolyta did. She went out and discovered herself. She was an adventurer. She hung out with Josephine Baker. She was turned,
A warrior,
she was a
princess out there.
warrior, and she was a wife, and then she's like, hold up, no, you know, all the labels, throw them all on yourself. Girl, I took a sewing class. I don't like to sew, but I tried it and I made a pair of pants. But I
Come on,
don't
pants.
pants, okay? I've taken jewelry making classes. Like I've done things like why am I doing that? Because I can. And because no one can stop me.
Come on
Because I
now.
have the means and resources to do it. Because that is also that piece there too. So I'll leave it at that. That's my tool. Go.
Do, be,
Do it.
explore.
Do them.
All of them. Do all of them. End of the story. Period.
Be. Don't just do.
That's it.
All right,
So I
y'all.
think we finished, right? Like I kind of made it finished, and if people think it's a weird note, that's okay.
You wrapped it
Hey.
up. We you wrapped it up. There's the bow. You put it
Right.
on there. Christmas is coming. Here you go. Gift. You giving gifts out here, Kim.
Word.
Yes.
Gifts,
Dropping
donations,
jewels.
donations, donations. Dr. Umar style. Gifts,
Oh
gifts,
God.
gifts,
Ugh.
donations.
We won't go down that path.
No, we won't. So we got to do our ending. I just want to say thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of Black Woman Be Whole podcast. I'm going to kick it over to our brand manager, Marquia.
So if you enjoyed our episode, you want to see more of us, get to know a little bit more about Black Women Be Whole, you can follow us on Facebook at Black Women Be Whole, or you can come on Instagram, slide in our DMs. That's that's where it goes down. And you can come and talk with us and, get your mental health Monday on, or maybe you want to get your, your sistership Saturday on. So we have some cool theme days that you can definitely check out with us on social media. So we'll see you there.
Oh, wait, I have one more thing.
Ooh.
We have a 4-week virtual course that is coming up. So I just want to put that out there. We will be giving you guys more information on that, but we are super excited about that.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, yes, yes. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening to the Black Women Be Whole podcast. If you want to keep up with all things Black Women Be Whole, you can follow us on Instagram at Black Women Be Whole. You can find us on Facebook at Black Women Be Whole. And check out our website where you can find out more about what we're doing. If we're having workshops, you can check out our cool merch and just keep up with what's going on. We hope to see you there soon.